Hello guys, I'm Tom, and today we'll explore what Predaliens are. One of the most powerful, iconic, and terrifying variants of the xenomorphs we've encountered in the vast and fascinating expanded universe of Alien and Predator is the Predalien. These creatures are the result of a Yautja or predator being impregnated by a facehugger. By utilizing the xenomorph's DNA reflexability, they acquire many traits and characteristics of the Yautja, which is why they are considered an offense to the predators. Due to their immense power, these creatures pose a significant threat to anyone who faces them. In most cases, even an elite Yautja, like the predator wolf, struggles to take one of these monsters down. Thanks to their intriguing backstory, memorable design, extensive mythology, and incredible traits, Predaliens are regarded as some of the best xenomorphs in the Alien and Predator franchises. That's why, in this video, I'll thoroughly explain the history of the Predaliens and their origins in the Alien and Predator universes. I'll also discuss their physical appearance, what we know about their personality and behavior, as well as their purpose and motivations. I'll break down their incredible abilities and known weaknesses, along with the different Predalien variants that exist. A Predalien is a xenomorph born from a Yautja. It is the result of a facehugger impregnating a predator, and as such, the Predalien exhibits many physical characteristics of the Yautja. For example, it has the Yautja's signature dreadlocks, external mandibles that frame its face, and skin coloration that differs from most xenomorphs, featuring yellowish or greenish tones. Predaliens are extremely strong and larger than xenomorphs born from humans. This is because they inherit not only the physical traits, but also the strength of the predators. However, they are extremely rare and regarded as unnatural abominations by the Yautja, who see them as an insult to their species. The first appearance of these creatures was in the expanded Alien vs. Predator comic universe, in a storyline titled Aliens vs. Predator: Duel. In this story, a group of Marines arrives on the planet Ryushi to investigate a possible distress signal. Upon arrival, they discover the place is completely overrun by xenomorphs and encounter an unconscious predator that has been impregnated by a facehugger. Eventually, the Predalien is born and grows rapidly, causing chaos and destruction on Ryushi. It doesn't just kill the Marines, but also takes down other Yautja, becoming a threat to both sides. This forces the humans and predators to form a temporary alliance to defeat it, which they eventually accomplish after significant effort. While the physical characteristics of Predaliens vary, they are generally depicted as a xenomorph drone or warrior, bulkier and heavier than regular xenomorphs. They incorporate some Yautja features, such as the dreadlocks on their heads. Interestingly, their skulls are shorter than the elongated heads of typical xenomorphs. In most cases, they feature a crest somewhat similar to those of alien queens. Additionally, they possess external mandibles surrounding their faces. The exact purpose of these mandibles is unknown, though we've seen some Predaliens use them to crush their victims' skulls in a brutal and decisive manner. Predaliens are significantly larger and stronger than any common xenomorph or predator. They measure approximately 3 meters and 50 centimeters tall, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, their skin tone is lighter than that of regular xenomorphs. Additionally, it's known that they can emit sounds similar to those of the predators. These creatures are incredibly strong and fast in combat, combining the swift attacks of xenomorphs with the brute strength of the Yautja, making them deadly opponents, even for elite predators. Physically, Predaliens are extremely robust and capable of withstanding a tremendous amount of physical damage, including severe burns. As we observed in the 2010 Aliens vs. Predator game, they are also resilient enough to endure a direct plasma cannon shot from a predator at nearly point-blank range, without sustaining significant damage, showcasing their incredible durability. The behavior of Predaliens is highly interesting and varied. They can work alongside other xenomorphs, aiding their nest or hive, as seen with the Predalien Queen or the Predalien Praetorian in the movie Aliens vs. Predator, Requiem. In this film, the Predalien actively started creating a massive nest, establishing an army of warrior and drone xenomorphs to protect it while it evolved. Interestingly, there's a case of different behavior observed in the Predalien abomination, which, according to fans, was a warrior Predalien acting as a lone hunter. It did not interact with the local queen or hive, and simply hunted humans without any specific objective, displaying behavior more akin to that of the Yautja or predators. Some Predaliens mutilate their victims and take trophies, such as skulls. It is theorized that this behavior is due to inherited genetic memory. However, Predaliens show no respect for these trophies and simply discard them, suggesting that these actions are instinctual and lack purpose. This behavior is also observed in the Predalien from the movie, albeit indirectly. There's a scene where a waitress leaves her workplace, saying goodbye to her boss. At that moment, the Predalien enters the restaurant, brutally kills the man, and rips out his spine and skull, all witnessed by the woman. In a deleted scene from the same film, there was a plan to show the predator wolf discovering two Yautja hanging and skinned in a manner similar to how predators treat their prey. This would have deeply disturbed Wolf, and further motivated him to hunt the grotesque and abominable Predalien. The Predalien was first depicted in a painting by Dave Dorman as conceptual art for Peter Briggs' unproduced film The Hunt, Alien vs. Predator. Although the film was never made, the Predalien made its first official appearance in Dark Horse Comics, specifically in Aliens vs. Predator, Duel, a series that served as a sequel to the original Aliens vs. Predator comic. The appearance of the Predalien has varied greatly across different representations. However, it has never been officially explained why they look different from one another. These changes are simply attributed to the artists who designed them. Predaliens adopt more traits from the predator they incubated in, as it is believed that Yautja genes are much stronger than those of humans. There are several different variants of Predaliens. For instance, the Predalien abomination, which was thought to be a Predalien in its warrior alien phase, the Predalien Praetorian, and the Predalien Queen, such as the alien we saw in the second Aliens vs. Predator movie. The latter had unique physical traits, as well as the grotesque ability to implant alien embryos directly through its mouth into potential hosts. There's also the Predalien Berserker, a different type born from a Berserker super predator. Interestingly, this type of Predalien prefers to move on all fours, which is very unusual compared to other variants that walk bipedally. Lastly, there's the Predalien Queen, which, as the name suggests, is a queen of these creatures. We saw it directly in the game Aliens vs. Predator, Extinction. It has been theorized that the Predalien Praetorian we saw in the movie could eventually evolve into a Predalien Queen. While many media sources refer to the Predalien as a hybrid between a Xenomorph and a Yautja, this isn't entirely accurate. The creature is simply another Xenomorph in the hive, adopting the traits and characteristics of the host it develops, due to the alien's DNA reflex ability. This is more pronounced in the case of Yautja, as is also observed with runner aliens born from quadrupedal animals. The true hybrid between the two species is the Predalien Queen from the game Aliens vs. Predator, Extinction, created by combining the DNA of both species. This being turned out to be a powerful creature that served the Xenomorphs. According to the directors of the second Aliens vs. Predator movie, the Strauss brothers, the Predalien Praetorian we saw in the film was in the process of becoming a queen. It was implied that it would grow to the massive size of this specific cast, retaining its additional external mandibles, the semi-transparent dome with a Yautja skull inside its head, and the predator's characteristic dreadlocks. Additionally, its crest would become larger and more elongated. According to the Strauss brothers, the ability to impregnate humans using the secondary jaw arose from the circumstances of its birth, without a queen or a hive to serve. For this reason, The Predalien was creating its own hive and army of xenomorph warriors, intending to molt and transform into an even more powerful and unstoppable creature. Finally, the American collectible figure company NECA released a figure of the Predalien Praetorian from the Aliens vs. Predator Requiem movie. This figure is difficult to find today, as it was released in 2008, shortly after the film's premiere. I own this figure, and there are rumors that NECA plans to re-release it in 2024. I hope they do, as many Predalien fans have been unable to acquire this collectible. I've also read rumors that NECA plans to release a figure of the Predalien abomination as seen in the game, which would be fantastic, since that design, in my opinion, is impressive. An interesting fact is that the Predalien is the only unique xenomorph cast from the expanded universe that we've seen in the movies. In the first Aliens vs. Predator movie, we saw the Predalien chestburster at the end, and in the second, we saw its adult form when it arrived in the small Colorado town and caused chaos and destruction. One unclear aspect is whether the ability to implant embryos is characteristic of all Predaliens or exclusive to the one seen in the movie. This is everything we know about Predaliens in the epic Aliens and Predator sagas. Personally, I believe this ability is exclusive to Predalien Praetorians, or those about to transform into a queen. As I mentioned, the concept of the Predalien fascinates me. It's one of my favorite aliens. Although Aliens vs. Predator Requiem wasn't the best movie, I think the Predalien was represented in an awesome way, with a brutal and memorable design. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Were you already familiar with the Predalien? Do you like the concept? Which is your favorite variant among those mentioned or from the expanded universe? Lastly, do you think the ability to impregnate people is unique to a Predalien Praetorian, or is it a trait of all Predaliens? Share your answers and your overall opinion about Predaliens in the epic Aliens and Predator sagas. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and share it to support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss my new videos.